Hey legends, it's an episode you've all been waiting for. We're going to be sprucing the Ranger up. It's just hit 100,000 Ks. It's been around Australia once. It's going to go again, but before it does, it needs to be fixed up. So today we're at Fit My 4-Wheel Drive and we're going to be putting on a new Bullbar, new tyres, new suspension and new lights. I'm so excited to give this thing a birthday, get it ready to go around Australia once more. It's going to be an epic episode, guys. Let's get building. So what the boys at Fit My 4-Wheel Drive are doing now is walking around the car and taking photos of every scratch and dent and all that kind of stuff, so that you know when you get your car back that everything's going to be as it was, which is pretty good. And there's a lot of probably little photos of scratches and dents to take on this car because it's in rough shape, but it's going to be looking a lot better really soon. Alright, so we've got the car in the shop now, and first things first, we're gonna be taking this Bullbar off, and this is our new Bullbar. This is pretty much the same one, it's Offroad Animal again, just had a fresh coat of powder coat, and it's got hoops this time, because I've always loved the hoop look. It was just a bit more expensive when I eventually got the barb. I think it's gonna look real aggressive on the car. Really happy about that, super excited. And if you can see this old one, it's pretty trash. A few things like Palm Creek and just running into trees and stuff, towing the caravan off-road has sort of really sent this Bullbar to its grave. So the new one's gonna look schmick. So plan is here, we're gonna chuck a few of the Light Force Rok Lights around. So gonna put one up here, pretty much where the purple tape is. A couple across there, some down here, just to give us a bit more light around here. There's a heap of light already built into the canopy, which is good for in here, but I sort of want light to throw out around the campsite, just to give us a bit more of a, party vibe. So I'm helping out where I can. And that means undoing all the wires. Well, it's probably easiest for me to do this anyway because I've pulled this out before to run a new wire in for our underneath lights. I know how to get it out. But pretty much the inverter has to come out, the battery has to be disconnected, a fair bit of stuff, there's a fair few bolts, because it's built really well. Sorry guys, I forgot to even mention to you guys how we got here. How we ended up here at Fit My 4-Wheel Drive. So it's from you. If you're a long time viewer of the channel, or not even that long ago, I put the word out to you guys, we needed new tyres for our car. Yeah, this was probably 3 or 4 months ago. I just said to you guys, leave a comment below and let us know where in Adelaide is the best place to get tyres. So many people said Adelaide Tyre Power. It turns out Adelaide Tyre Power is owned by a really nice guy called Troy. So yeah, I ended up meeting Troy. Turns out he owns Fit My 4-Wheel Drive. Fit My 4-Wheel Drive does all this wicked stuff, and he said, I reckon I can look after you. And he came out and had a look at our car and was like, you need a bit more than new tyres. I'd really been looking for a GVM upgrade at that time. This was just before we'd picked up this Trojan canopy, and I knew that we'd really be pushing weights once we started to get this on, especially with towing the van and the boat on the roof. Not only did we end up with a fantastic recommendation from you guys, we've met an absolute legend named Troy, who's made all this stuff possible. Alrighty, so everything's out of here, which is sick. So now the boys can get in and put their wiring in for the new Light Force Rok Lights. little bit of work by me. Chuck these little Rok Lights up here on the awning. They're just bolted at the back there. And then I've got these ones up here. And then one more just back there. Don't mind my sandwich Lil got me from OTR. So I'm gonna run these ones. I've got 2 spare switches in the Trojan tray. So it's got these 4 just here. Gonna put like the outside ones on one switch and then the canopy ones on that switch, because this is the lights underneath, and then this is just that interior light there. So I didn't know what I was gonna do with all these switches, but now I do. Alrighty, the bar's on. Winch is on. Lights are on. The new lights are on. Let's just stand back and look at this thing. Oh, it looks tough. So I'm super happy with how this has turned out. Probably taken, well, I didn't do it, Brock has done it. Probably only took him 3 hours really, and that's with Lightforce came around and took some photos and stuff of Brock installing it. Think about that. So Brock's done this, all of this, and I've just put 4 lights on up there. They shouldn't employ me. Actually, these guys are looking for people to work here. So if you want to do this as a job, I'd hit them up. I think they might be looking for an installer. They've obviously got tyre power, so I think they're looking for a fitter, and I can't remember. I think maybe a salesperson. If I wasn't traveling, I'd work here. Alrighty, sorry guys, I sort of put the camera down for a little bit before. I was just trying to get some stuff done, but I've got the fridge back in. These lights out here are wired on, so I think it's this one. Oh, no, this one. So look at that. So these ones are wired in. I've just run wire out through the roof for these ones. They've got to be done. Everything up here is done. A little bit to fix in here. Lights and Bullbar. Check. Good morning people, it is another day back in the shop, and today is the exciting day. We're going to be fitting suspension and tyres. I know that I've talked about my suspension in the past, and I thought I'd go over it with you guys who are new here. Thought I'd tell you what's in the Ranger now. It has Dobinson suspension in it. It's the MRR stuff. Look, actually, it has been great. I've broken one strut, driving huge distances on corrugated roads and things like that. We are pushing the suspension to its limits. So we're going to be putting in the Tough Dog stuff. It's going to be the GVM upgrade. So you can just see it here. This is the GVM upgrade, so 500 kilo springs, and then just the shocks and coilovers. So I know I've said in the past about the range of suspension. At the moment we have 200 kilo constant leaf springs, and then I've also got the Airbag Man Air Assist over the top. So I have said before about this being a really good setup, and look, it was. When the car had just the tub and the canopy, it was great. I would pump the airbags up when the van was on just to give it that little bit of assist. But then when the weight came off and it was just pretty much just an empty tub with a fiberglass canopy on the top, it would ride really well, and I'd have the airbags down, it would still flex really well. So I did like that. But now getting our aluminium canopy, it's given us the ability to be able to go for extended periods of times like without the caravan. So what we'll be doing is when we're taking the caravan off, we're going to be loading the canopy up, so it's going to be heavy again, and then we're going to be doing trips like one that's coming up soon to the Victorian High Country. What's been happening is I've been pretty much having to have the airbags pumped up at all times, even when the van's not off, like when we're doing trips. So we really needed to get the GVM upgrade, and so I'm not going back on my word about the setup that I had before. I still think it was good, but it was good for what we had before. Now with this new setup, I think that having these 500 kilo constant leaf springs will be the more ideal setup. So right now we're going to be taking the wheels off the car, and then I'm going to be taking them round to Tyre Power and get them fitted up with the new Yokohamas. So, it's going well. Now they're in there. I'm off to get the tyres changed over. So give me the keys to the little work van. I've got to wheel that around there. Oh, sorry, son. I'm doing jobs today. Part of the crew. Alrighty, let's see if I can start this bad boy. I think it's got an immobiliser, and I'm not familiar with how that stuff works, but Brock said you got to unlock it first. Okay, I've pushed that. Okay, nothing. Oh, now it's on. I am a genius. All right, let's head off. Now I gotta remember to get there. Okay, so we're here at Tyre Power now. The truck going back in, so I'll let them go first. These tyres still have like a little bit of tread left on them, but I'll just show you what they sort of look like. This is what happens when you run really low pressures for really long on corrugated roads. They're ruined. Okay, well I thought I'd do a bit of an unboxing because people seem to love unboxing on YouTube. So, here it is, the front coil. Ooh, sticker. Oh, it's gold. I actually really like that because I was worried that it would be bright yellow, and I just didn't think that yellow would match with the car, but I think this sort of goldy colour looks good. I don't know, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. So these are a set position as well. All right, now this is the rear shock. I'm not going to show you guys the leaf spring because it's a leaf spring. Oh, it's thick. Wow, it's thick. I've got the 53mm Ralph big ball. It says right here. These must be the new ones. Well, if anyone's going to test them out, it's me. You know what's interesting as well is that you always ask people what the suspension's like in their car, and they're like, yeah, it's great. But more than likely you only ever put like one set of suspension in your car. So it's really hard to tell, like rather than having, well, you know, you have your stock, and whenever you upgrade, it's always going to be better. It's going to be so good for me to see the difference between, I mean, I remember the vehicle as stock, and now I'm going to, you know the vehicle now with the Dobinson suspension, and then I'm going to tell you how the Tough Dog goes. So it's going to be like a great experiment. Alrighty, so I am going to start taking this front bit apart. I hope that this comes out alright, this video. This is like my first time ever really filming install stuff, especially with other people around. So I'm trying my best. Please bear with me. I mean, lighting would be good, but for the one time that I've used it, I mean, it's not really worth it for me. So the videos that I watch on YouTube are these kind of videos. Workshop stuff, people modifying their cars and things like that. Who recommendations can I give you? Mostly American stuff, but if you're interested, I really like Dirt Lifestyle. I've said it before, I love The Story Till Now, which is not really working on car stuff, but it's like Jeep things. I think that's one of the reasons why I want a Gladiator. I'll think of some recommendations and I'll give it to you guys, because your YouTube watchers, And I'm a YouTube watcher, so we can like, you know, talk about it. Look at all those rocks behind there. This shock here, this is the replacement from the one that I broke at Cape York. About August I installed this one. You can see how hard I am on the gear if you just look right here. It's about 8 months old, that shock. I hope the tough dogs handle it. Also, to all you stressors, I got a ratchet spanner. I'm not trying to tell you how to install your suspension. Usually I'll undo this brake line piece here so it hangs, and then I'll hit this with a hammer or pop, pull this forward, and then we can get this coil out. Okay, now's the time to take the big bolt off. Ears, everyone. That's a big old bolt. Alrighty, so time to chuck these ones in. I've measured it, they are the exact same size, like lengthwise, but the way they get the lift out of the Dobinsons is by winding them up, whereas these are just a set one. I think it's something to do with the GVM upgrade and how much they are. And if you're wondering, this goes to 3510, 3200 factory. So it's a decent upgrade, 310 kilos extra, bloody good. Hey Brock, is left hand front the passenger? Okay. Just a bit of things. And then, cool. That looks pretty good. And now here's a tip. You don't tighten these fully until the car's on the ground because it all moves around. I'm no fitter, but I do know that. Alrighty, that's one side done. Now we'll just chuck the other side in and see how we go. She's in, everything's in. Got the front. I did 1.5 fronts. Brock finished the other side for me. I was too slow. Brock's done the rear by himself, putting the leaves in. Poor fella didn't even ask for help. Time to get these tyres on, get it going. So obviously with your GVM upgrade, you do have to get this engineered. So Fit My 4-Wheel Drive can organise all the engineering. They'll have someone come out, certify it, and then you have to go through like a specific process. It has to be registered again and things like that. I haven't really got into the details yet because I haven't done it, so I can't tell you specifically what you need to do, but it's not as simple as just bolting the kit in and going. So if you want to get your car GVM upgraded, definitely come here. We've just come over to tyre power side of Fit My 4-Wheel Drive to get our new tyres put on. Here they are, looking grunt. So Brock's come over and helped me stripping the tyres off now. Look at these horrific things. Oh. These wheels actually, I've had them. They were the first thing that I ever did to the car. When I first bought it, 2 weeks in, I went to I can't even remember where I went, but I got those wheels. I always wanted them. And they've actually been really good. They're just fuel vectors, I think. I think they're can't remember, but I'm pretty certain that they are a 16x80 offset. They look really good on the car. It fits it out really well. So one of the reasons, obviously everyone wants to go massive and have big lift and big tyres and stuff. Towing, for me, the biggest I'll go is these 33s. So these are a 285, 75, 16. Really good, like in between. They're not massive, but they're not small either. And then I didn't want to go a massive lift either. I sort of want the car to be almost low and wide. It still needs to have a lift in it because I am going off-road a lot, but I just want it to be stable. Start wheeling these bad boys over. Also, I should say, when you get your car worked on here, you don't have to work on it yourself. I'm just here because I love to learn. The boys are really nice people, so they let me in to film it and show you guys how it works, a bit of behind the scenes, and I'm really enjoying myself. There's the two together. They look a lot bigger actually. Now, bigger is better. Yeah. It's down. Oh. I was just waiting for Rok to put it down and it's already down. I thought it was still held up on its own. I thought the hoist was still holding, but it's just up. Well, it's high. Hang on, I'll swap you to wide view. Is that better? Look at that. Grunt. It's a different car. Looks like the poke on the tread's pretty good. Legal. That's great. Keen to see these tyres go, hey? They look wicked on the car. I thought while I had a break in the build, I'd show you guys around this part of the workshop, which is like their custom drawers part. So this is where they build all this wicked stuff, and they've got a couple of examples here. So this is set up for a Y62, so it just drops in. Angle fridge. Sorry, oh, that's it. And then if you check these out, sorry, it's hard with one hand. Big drawer there. Got that with the chopping board. There's storage in there as well. And this wing part here comes out. Look at that. It's all really, really neat and everything slides very, very smoothly. So that's pretty cool. And then you can chuck your battery and all that kind of stuff in this wing here. It's a pretty rad little unit that they make. You can obviously get whatever you want custom. That's obviously a custom job, so they can just make it to whatever you want. And then here's like one of their flagship sort of ideas and designs. This is a false floor for a wagon. So you take it out and then you can have your red vision system. There's a battery and everything bolted up in there. So this is where you've got like your compressor outlet and just some 12-volt stuff here. That's a super neat way to do it if you're like regularly carrying things in the back of your wagon. You know, you might be putting your pram and all that kind of stuff in there, and you can't have this kind of setup. This works really well. Or you could just get it just like this with just a basic one, and then maybe later put in what you want. But really, really neat job. So as well in here they'll do full fit outs. They're doing a van build at the moment. You can see out here there's a transporter that's just going to be fitted out, so it's got a full setup here with drawers and stuff they build. Nice runner, probably have a fridge on there. It's a really good idea, and it's great that it's custom, so you can bring your car in here, say this is what I want, and get it built to exactly how you want, and it's going to last. But yeah, just another thing that you can get at Fit My 4-Wheel Drive. Oh yeah. It's finally happened. We've finished. Just putting the final touches on it now, the wheel alignment, and then it's ready to go. It looks so good. We've got Light Force here. Ted from Light Force. Gonna do a little interview first and talk about the car, because I'm really happy with it. Look at that bad girl up there. So that's it for this episode, guys. I just want to say a huge thank you to Fit My 4-Wheel Drive and all the brands that were involved in this build. It's been amazing. We've just spent the last week in the Victorian High Country really testing it out. I can't wait to show you guys around this car now. There's so many amazing things, but I'll leave that for a separate video. So thanks so much for watching this video, guys. Please like and subscribe. It really helps us out. It means that we can keep making bigger and better videos for you guys. All right, I'll see you guys next week.